Everyone who has seen this seed must die. But I swallowed it right away. It has been nurtured for 18 years. Simply because my father told me before he died. Just wait until the seed sprouts inside me. I can undergo a complete transformation. But before the seeds sprout, I can't open my mouth. Because I open my mouth, will leak the scent of the seed. This provoked the roar of the heavenly thunder. They could even be struck dead by lightning. So for 18 years, I haven't even said a word. This made everyone think I was mute. Tomorrow is the last day of 2018. But something happened that I never expected. I would rather die. She also refused to marry Jiang Bufan. Like smoke. If you break the covenant, people will say you are ungrateful. I don't care, I won't marry Jiang Bufan. Dad, please help me think of a way. Lu Zhengyan heard this. A headache came on. Her eyes instinctively glanced toward me in the corner. Although he was a handsome young man, unfortunately he was mute, and a mute without spiritual roots. His own daughter. He was a world-shaking prodigy with a 6th grade spiritual root. Now, he was favored even more by the elders of Qingyun sect. He planned to take her as a true disciple. The future is limitless. The two of them are simply not from the same world. The husband truly cannot proceed. Let Rushua marry in place of Rian. This statement came out. The Lu family members turned their gazes sharply toward the crowd. Lu Rushua in the back. It was a graceful young woman. As an older sister, she was much more beautiful than her sister Lu Rian. Unfortunately, she was born to a concubine. Her status in the Lu family was far below Lu Rian's. Wang Yingfeng had Lu Rushua replace her daughter, marrying a mute. This made many members of the Lu family unable to stand by and watch. Dad. I still want to serve you by your side. Please don't marry me off. Lu Rushua bit her red lips tightly. Helpless please. Lu Zhengyan, however, ignored her gaze. Like snow, our Lu family doesn't have it. 100 years have passed. It was hard to produce a genius like your sister. The future of the Lu family depended on her. Calculate your father. Please, marry Jiang Bufan in place of Rian. Do you really want your father to kneel and beg you? Dad, don't be like this. I'll marry her. Isn't it enough for me to marry her? Only then did Lu Zhengyan straighten up. The weight that had been hanging in my heart for years was finally lifted. He showed a faint smile of relief. Then he looked at me sitting in the corner. What does Xiaofan think? I sat in the corner. He calmly sipped his tea. Hearing this, he looked up at Lu Rushua. He sighed silently in his heart, truly pitiful. He was schemed against by his family teamed up. The Lu family never intended to marry Lu Rian to me. Instead, he had planned early on to make Lu Rushua the scapegoat. Lu Rian threatened him with his life. It was Wang Yingfeng who proposed a substitute marriage. Then Lu Zhengyan played the family card. It was all arranged by them in advance. Lu Rushua is pure and kind. She was easily deceived and agreed to a substitute marriage. Such a poor girl. How could I bear to hurt him? I picked up the paper and pen I carried with me. Write a note to uncle. There is no need to make things as difficult as snow. The Lu family took care of me for 10 years. It has already negated the life-saving kindness my father gave me back then. The engagement was settled today, even if it is not like Lu Rushua. I also plan to break off the engagement. Ever since 10 years ago, my father and I saved Lu. The old man stayed at the Lu residence ever since. 3 years ago, my father passed away. The entire Lu family gradually distanced themselves from me. If she weren't worried that breaking the engagement would affect her childbirth, they had already kicked me out of the Lu residence. After reading my words, Lu Zhengyan was secretly excited in his heart. Jiang Bufan was at the Lu family. Day after day, he kept reminding Lu Zhengyan. The Lu family owes Jiang Bufan and his son a great debt of gratitude. Day by day, year after year, Lu Zhengyan felt like a bone stuck in his throat. Now he was leaving. This is truly fantastic news. Surprisingly, Wang Yingfeng spoke earnestly. Xiao Fan can't do this. The engagement was arranged by the old master. How could we dare defy his majesty's wishes? If by chance he returns from traveling, we found out we hadn't fulfilled our agreement. Your uncle and I won't be in trouble. If you truly thank the Lu family for taking care of you over the past 10 years. So, he married Rushua. From then on, everyone became one family. Some shrewd clan members. He saw through Wang Yingfeng's true intentions. He wanted to marry Lu Rushua off to the mute Jiang Bufan, ruining her lifelong happiness, leveling threats for his own daughter. Lu Rushua was a renowned beauty far and wide. Many children of prominent families coveted her. If she marries into a wealthy family, or become the wife or concubine of some powerful figure, she would undoubtedly become a rival to Lu Rian. Now marry her to Jiang Bufan. This useless piece without even a root. This completely eliminates hidden dangers. How vicious. I saw it clearly. He looked at Lu Rushua, who was silently shedding tears. He sighed helplessly. Even if I helped her once today, after I left, she still couldn't escape Wang Yingfeng's cruelty. Her fate at that time. It might be even worse than marrying a mute. All these years, Lu Rushua has been the only one who has treated me kindly. The year my father passed away, I was overwhelmed with grief. A serious illness. Lying in bed for 7 days and 7 nights. The Lu family acted as if they hadn't seen anything. It was Lu Rushua who cared for him tirelessly at his bedside for 7 days. I really couldn't bear it. Leave behind this pure and kind girl. He pondered repeatedly. Helplessly, I picked up my brush and wrote a good word for Wang Yingfeng. Wang Yingfeng smiled. Rushua, quickly take Xiaofan to measure a set of clothes. You will be married in a month. Lu Rushua wiped away her tears. She came up to me with swollen red eyes. Follow me. I happen to have something to say to you too. Inside the boudoir, Lu Rushua opened the drawer of the dressing mirror. From the corner, He pulled out a very hidden little pocket. Inside were various small pieces of silver. Little mute. You shouldn't have agreed. They don't truly want you. Marry me. He simply didn't want to be branded as ungrateful. Once my sister joins Qingyun's sect, they will think of the law to drive you away. Isn't this girl silly? Take this money and leave Guizhou City. I don't want you to live like I do. I wrote a note. What about you? A trace of bitterness crept into Lu Rushua's lips. This is my home. No matter how bad they are to me, I can't leave either. You should leave quickly. Don't hesitate. Just thinking about this farewell. Perhaps forever. I will never see this companion I grew up with again in this lifetime. A strange sadness welled up in his heart. Don't trust strangers casually. Don't eat their stuff. Do not drink their water. Also, don't just talk to people casually. If someone finds out you're mute, they'll bully you. Did you understand? As they spoke, his voice was tinged with tears. I stepped forward. She patted his head. A gentle voice softly came out. From now on, you should call me husband. You spoke. You are not mute. Did I ever say I was mute? Lu Rushua's mind was in complete chaos. You're pretending to be mute. Why? I clasped my hands behind my back, quietly gazing out the window at the sky. Suddenly, 2 thunderclaps rang out in the clear sky. Lu Rushua shuddered in fright at the sudden thunder. How did it suddenly flash like thunder out of nowhere? Just like 3 years ago. That's why I pretended to be mute. There is a mysterious seed within me. Every time he speaks, all of them reveal a trace of the seed's aura. This drew the roar of heavenly thunder. Except for the night my father died. I haven't spoken up once in 18 years. Lu Rushua saw a trace of sadness on my face, just assuming there was some unspeakable secret. All right. I won't ask anymore. Pack your things and go quickly. If Aunt Wong finds out you've been pretending to be mute all along, they're going to be paranoid. I turned around, gently hold her hand. I won't leave. Stay and marry. From now on, I'll protect you. Lu Rushua's handsome face instantly flushed bright red. The words "protect you" echo in my ears. Her heart started pounding for no reason. Stop boasting. Your spiritual roots aren't even as good as mine. I smiled without saying a word. Today is the last day of 2018. I will follow the first ray of light in tomorrow between heaven and earth, reborn from the ashes. By then, there will be no more mute people in the world who are extraordinary. No more waste will be extraordinary. I quietly watched Lu Rushua. Confidently, trust me. Lu Rushua met my calm and determined gaze. A warm current surged through his heart. Ever since my mother passed away, it was the first time someone had said they wanted to protect me. He pondered for a long time. He shoved the money pouch into my hand again. I frowned slightly. He still didn't believe in himself. No wonder I'm still immortal, without a spiritual root. Wait until the seeds sprout tomorrow. Everything will change. Lu Rushua stared at me. Her cheeks flushed with a hint of embarrassment. She softly said, "Take it as a betrothal gift to marry me." I stared at him in a daze. Never imagined there would be a day. There will be a girl holding her life savings. Let me marry her as a betrothal gift. A feeling that was hard to describe. It wraps around my soul. It made me want to fight desperately. And she must protect her impulsiveness well. What are you standing there for? Uncle Jiang lived a life of poverty. I didn't leave you any gold or silver. I hope these savings can help you. He himself was struggling, but in his heart, he was still thinking of me. I couldn't hold back anymore. She pulled him into her arms in one swift motion. Soft channel. Perhaps our way of combining is an accident. But the ending was correct. Lu Rushua's face flushed bright red with embarrassment. My mind went blank. Let me hold you in your arms. It took him a long time to react. He panicked and broke free. I went to measure clothes. Watching his fleeing figure, I put the money pouch back on the table. He smiled and said to marry my wife. How could it be so cold and desolate like snow? I will be proud. Meteors, boom boom. 2 bolts of heavenly thunder exploded in succession. I glared fiercely at the sky. Blow, blow up. Blow. After tonight, you will never have another chance. In the rear courtyard, Wang Yingfeng was lying in his room. Aunt, how could you marry cousin Rushua to Jiang Bufan? This useless person. Please withdraw your order. Marry my cousin to me. Lu Zheng was Wang Yingfeng's nephew. He is a genius with a 3rd-grade spiritual root. Therefore, Wang Yingfeng brought him to the Lu residence from a young age to be nurtured. He was also quite capable. At just 20, he already had the 5th level of qi refining cultivation. Let Wang Yingfeng appear in front of her own family. He really embarrassed himself. The only thing that troubled Wang Yingfeng was this. Lu Zheng really liked Lu Rushua, and has always regarded her as his woman. It concerns the future of the Lu family. In other respects, Andy can accommodate you. But this is the only matter. You're not allowed to mess around. To completely crush Lu Rushua, Wang Yingfeng insisted on crushing him no matter what. By the side of Jiang Bufan, that useless man. Annie just forbids you from interfering with their marriage. I didn't say you can't make a move after they get married. If Jiang Bufan dies unexpectedly, can you marry Rushua again? If Lu Rushua became a widow, those big families and the powerful would never accept her. I understand, thank you, Annie. Lu Zheng suddenly understood. He showed a look of happiness. Nephew will go back and help Jiang Bufan arrange the wedding. Let them get married as soon as possible. Don't forget to get up early tomorrow. Auntie will accompany you to the testing tower. Retest your spiritual root level. Lu Zheng cupped his hands in salute. He left with a beaming smile. The next morning, in a simple room in the western garden of the Liu residence. I paced back and forth inside the house. Sometimes she gazed out at the sky. His eyes were filled with thick bloodshot veins. Why hasn't the sun come out yet? I waited 18 years for this day. I thought I had a lot of self-control. Emotions do not fluctuate with external things. Able to calmly welcome the seed to sprout. But when that day finally arrived, stayed awake all night. His heart was filled with anxiety. Father didn't lie to me, did he? Is this seed really that magical? Can it really transform me? Countless thoughts churned. It made me take a nervous, deep breath. In an instant, out of the corner of his eye, a dazzling glow pierced through the clouds. It shot into the house. Almost at the same moment, I vaguely heard the cracking sounds. It was as if some kind of hard shell had cracked open. The seeds have sprouted. 18 years of waiting. The moment of rebirth from the ashes arrived. I quickly sat cross-legged. Hold your breath and focus your mind. The sound of shells breaking in his ears grew louder and louder. At first, the sound was like a mosquito's buzz. Then, like thunderous war drums. Finally, a thunderous roar shattering mountains and earth seemed to be right in front of his ears. It made my vision go black. In the darkness, I saw a tender sprout breaking through the soil. His reality seemed to disturb some supreme being. Lightning bolts that could destroy heaven and earth descended. He wanted to push him back underground. The tender buds slowly unfolded. He casually absorbed all the incoming thunder. And it thrives at a speed visible to the naked eye. From 1 inch to 1,000 zhong, it quickly grows. I watched helplessly as a seed swallowed heaven and earth. Thunder and lightning are the foundation of cultivation, growing into a towering giant tree with no end in sight. Thunder knew it was powerless to stop its growth. Gradually came to a halt. Just when I thought it was all over, a mighty roar of divine might erupted in the shock. Yet you dare to take from me the divine art of the Taishu ancient clan. It doesn't matter who you are. No matter where you are, we will all find you. The roar entered the ears. I just felt a splitting headache. In a critical moment, this ancient Taishu tree scattered. Strands of green light merged into my body. Only then did that tearing sensation gradually fade. And under the influence of green spots, a spiritual root was nurtured in his dantian. I survived the disaster. His face was deathly pale. Who was that? Why did he say this tree was from the Taishu ancient clan? Isn't this for my father? It took me a while to calm my mind. Bolin instinctively looked at the spiritual root in his abdomen. I have a spiritual root now. After 18 years of waiting, the complete transformation has finally arrived. I knelt on the ground, my eyes full of sorrow. Dad. Did you see that? The child has developed a spiritual root. From now on, he could protect himself. Your spirit in heaven may rest in peace. After a long while, I calmed myself down. He carefully examined the spiritual root. At that glance, he was stunned. The transparent color of my spiritual root is actually transparent. Spiritual roots are always colored. There's no transparent one. Lu Rian's spiritual root is deep blue. This means he has a 6th grade spiritual root. The highest legendary is the white spiritual root, representing the 9th rank. But transparent spiritual roots had never been heard of. Looks like I'll have to go to the detection tower to confirm. I don't know about my transparent spiritual root. What level will it be? At that moment I suddenly realized, on the lush Taishu divine tree, hanging from huge, transparent fruits, hanging at the lowest point the fruit, he actually sealed a cultivation technique. The advanced Xian level heart technique dragon seeking scripture. He carefully read the words on the technique. I couldn't help but feel a jolt in my heart. As a long-established force in Guizhou City, the Liu family, the clan cultivation technique is just a mid-level yellow-grade sword technique. I breathe a breath, run to the tree, try to jump up and grab the fruit, but an invisible force pressed me back to the ground. A thread of information slowly surfaced in his mind. Only the foundation establishment stage can pick the lowest fruit. Immediately, the dark world before my eyes gradually faded away. He returned to the humble room where he lived. I was stunned for a moment. What had just happened felt like a dream. But the spiritual root in my abdomen told me, it's all real. Dragon Quest Foundation period. I excitedly licked my lips. He wished he could break through to the foundation establishment stage right now. I didn't want to delay, even a moment. Leaving the Liu residence, he hurried over to the detection tower. It was still early morning. The inspection tower had not yet opened its doors. In front of the tower, the young members of the families waiting for the tests were waiting. Jenner tested again today. Don't be nervous. The tower master said you were nervous last time. This led to test results falling below normal levels. Originally, you were at least 3rd rank upper class. Because of nervousness, only 3rd grade medium was detected. This is the difference in rank. So I can't secure more resources for you at the Liu family. If you detect a top grade 3rd grade spiritual root, Auntie will do everything she can to persuade the Liu family members. Make an exception and let you practice the Liu family's Liu family sword technique. For this nephew, Wang Yingfeng went all in. Took the Liu family's core secrets. All are intended to be passed on to this outsider. Liu Zheng was extremely excited. The Liu family's sword technique is an imperial grade mid-level technique. Only the core members of the Liu family could access it. He had been at the Liu family for 10 years, watching people's moods. Finally, he could touch the very core of the Liu family. Amidst the excitement, out of the corner of his eye, he caught sight of a familiar figure, and could not help but be astonished. Zhang Bufan, what are you doing here? I calmly wrote a note. Just like you. Before their strength reaches a certain level, better to keep pretending to be mute, to avoid arousing suspicion from the Liu family. Just like me. Heh. Liu Jing shook his head. His eyes were full of disdain. At that moment, the door opened, and the tower master was a lazy old man. As usual, those with excellent testing aptitude can receive cultivation method rewards. Everyone looked indifferent, because ordinary people simply can't get the rewards. In recent decades, the only one I got was, it was Liu Rian's talent for a 6th grade spiritual root. He received a reward of a low-grade yellow-grade heart technique. Relying on this manual, Lu Rian had cultivated to the 8th level of chi refining in just half a year. 6th grade spiritual root. And he only obtained the most basic cultivation techniques. Others don't even need to think about it. A flash of attention in his eyes. There are also cultivation techniques to take. He wanted to break through to the foundation establishment stage. You must have a heart technique. Heart techniques are specifically designed to elevate one's realm. Compared to sword techniques and other offensive techniques, the heart method is even more precious. Every faction regards the heart technique as a treasure. No outsiders allowed to interfere. Detection Tower. It is the only place where ordinary people can receive heart technique rewards. It's just too hard to figure it out. I'm not sure if I'll get a reward either. After all, he didn't know what grade the transparent spiritual root was. Everyone entered the detection tower. There are many separate secret chambers inside the tower. Lu Zheng exuded confidence all over. She turned her head to look at me, half smiling, half smiling. Don't be scared by my true spiritual root, level later. He was confident. This time, they were able to detect top-grade, third-grade spiritual roots. In this way, his status in the Lu family would rise even higher. At that time, it would be much easier to snatch Lu Ruxiu away. I shrugged. He wrote a note. Let's wait and see. At the Tower Master's command, everyone entered the testing room at the same time. I looked toward a floating crystal ruler in the center of the chamber. It is printed with 9 color markings. Represents the level of spiritual roots from 1st to 9th grade.
Take a deep breath.
I came to the crystal ruler. He placed his palm on it. The crystal ruler immediately trembled slightly. A ripple slowly rose from the bottom, rising to the red scale. Then it rises to the orange scale, without hesitation. My anxious heart eased slightly. At first I was a bit worried. A transparent colored spiritual root. It was some kind of useless spiritual root, without a grade. Soon, the ripples reached the yellow scale. Then, with a fierce momentum, it crashed into the green mark. My heart was racing. Green represents a grade 4 spiritual root. It was already above Lu Zheng's rank, but the ripples clearly showed no intention of stopping. Blue-green. I clenched my fists. His heart was pounding violently. 6th grade spiritual root. I have reached Lu Rian's spiritual root level, but the ripples did not stop, rising all at once to the highest level. White is 9th rank. My pupils contracted. His eyes were filled with uncontrollable ecstasy. He had an unprecedented 9th grade spiritual root. This is the legendary level. Yet the ripples did not stop. He leapt up again. The tip of the crystal ruler is a large blank space. No scale at all. Ripples continue to rise. Finally, with a swift swipe of the ruler, it dashed out of the ruler, flying out of the secret chamber. This left me completely baffled. What kind of spiritual root do I even have? He tested. It seems there was no detection. Almost at the very moment the ripples burst out of the crystal pool. Next door, Lu Zhen gazed at the ripples in the crystal pool. The rate of increase is slowing down. It was as difficult as a snail climbing a wall. When frozen at the critical point between middle and upper grade 3, his face turned grim. Palm. Grow it for me, you bastard. Lu Zhen slammed the crystal ruler hard. He thought he had reached the upper 3rd rank. 9 out of 10 is stable. But the result was a hair's length difference. This difference by a single line. This made him miss out on the Lu family's resources. Nor did he have the chance to participate in the Lu family's sword technique promised by Wang Yingfeng. At this moment, the ripples bursting out of my crystal ruler, passing by his secret chamber. A powerful momentum of impact. Ripples in Lu Zheng's crystal pool were stirred. A completely stagnant scale. Climb up again. And break through the scales of various colors all the way. Eventually it climbs slowly. It was frozen on the white scale. The white scale begins to glow. The tower master lay on a bamboo and rattan chair, holding a pen in one hand. He lazily held the lamp in one hand and took notes. At this moment, the stone door of chamber 3 lit up first. It emits a faint crimson glow. Secret room number 3. Zhu Tingting, the heiress of the Zhu family. A low-grade spiritual root. Immediately, other secret chambers gradually lit up. Guizhou City really gets worse year by year. If not for the recent events, a Lu Rian with a 6th grade spiritual root appeared. The detection tower in Guizhou City is about to be shut down. Suddenly, inside Lu Zheng's secret chamber, a beam of white light shot out from the crack in the door. The tower master rubbed his eyes. His face showed confusion. White suddenly stood up. His old face was full of shock, staring at the increasingly dazzling white light in Lu Zheng's secret chamber. He uttered in shock with 4 words, 9th grade immortal death. The words fell. The white light suddenly intensified. It transformed into a beam of white light, rising into the sky, piercing through the clouds in the sky. Lu Rian of the Lu family finished meditating. Spiritual energy surrounds him. Lu Zhengyan, standing to the side, looked proud. Rian, you've broken through to the 9th level of chi refining. At this age, this is unprecedented in our lone boat city. After all, it was a 6th grade spiritual root. It's no surprise that his cultivation is so fast. Once I go to Qingyan sect. Obtained Huangji intermediate grade. Even when it was a high-level Huangji cultivation technique. Cultivation will be faster. Out of the corner of his eye, he caught sight of a white pillar of light. He couldn't help but be surprised. Dad, what is this? Lu Zhengyan was also stunned by the breathtaking sight before him. It appears in the detection tower. Could it be that a peerless spiritual root has manifested in the world? I heard your grandfather mention it. Years ago, Beyond City next door, a peerless prodigy with an 8th grade spiritual root appeared. When testing spiritual roots, a black beam of light shot into the sky. It was exactly the same as before my eyes. 8th grade is a black beam. That white beam of light, is that not the 9th rank? Lu Rian stared at the beam of light in disbelief. Unconsciously, she bit her red lips tightly. As proud as she is. Unacceptable. There were actually people in Guizhou City who were even more outstanding than her. Watching the light gradually fade, she gritted her silver teeth, rushing toward the detection tower. I want to see who it really is. Lu Zhongyan was worried he might act impulsively. At the same time, they were extremely curious. Who is this peerless prodigy who suddenly emerged? So he quickened his pace and chased after him. The entire Lone Boat City was also affected by the appearance of the white beam, messing up a pot of porridge. Countless dancers frantically rushed toward the detection tower. The outside world was in an uproar. The inspection tower was in an uproar. The dancers rushed out one after another, arriving at Lu Zhang's stone gate, utterly shocked. The tower master couldn't help but mutter, "Myth, I have witnessed a myth. A lifetime of life." He actually saw the legendary 9th grade spiritual root. "This is the same as our Tianji Pavilion master. Exactly the same spiritual root," a clenched young man said jealously. Tower master. Does 9th rank always mean the strongest? Of course, 9th rank is the strongest. It seemed as if something had come to mind. He paused, not quite sure. There is indeed a kind of spiritual root in this world that surpasses the 9th grade. His name is Wuji's spiritual root. Legend has it that he is invisible and formless. It is transparent. This spiritual root is more than 100 times stronger than a 9th grade. But this spiritual root only exists in mythology. Reality simply doesn't exist. Why do you think you have an infinite spiritual root? The 9th rank is the existence you look up to in this life. Cherish it well. A chance to face a 9th rank prodigy face to face, right? Wait until he grows up. For your whole life. He no longer had the right to even look at her directly. Hearing this, the young man's eyes were full of bitterness. Just one talent test. This determined their future hierarchy. One is the true dragon of the heavens. One is the ant on the ground. This contrast is so cruel, it makes one feel despair. I'm in the secret room next door. Naturally, they sense this commotion. No way, Lu Zheng has a 9th grade spiritual root. I looked surprised. If he had such talent, why did he take up 10 years of the Lu family's resources? It's not even as good as Lu Ruian's 6th rank. Just as I was pondering, suddenly I realized. His crystal ruler reacted again. A ball of blue, hazy light flew out from the pool, landed right in front of me. When the radiance fades, it turned out to be 2 cultivation techniques. This is the cultivation technique rewarded to me. I felt a surge of joy in my heart. He quickly picked it up and examined it carefully. 1. This is a yellow grade advanced heart technique called the Qingfeng True Scripture. Another book. It was a high-level yellow grade technique called the 7-star sword technique. The highest level technique in Guizhou City was only mid-level yellow grade. And I actually obtained 2 yellow grade advanced techniques at the same time. What level of spiritual root do I have anyway? They actually gave such a high reward. I couldn't help but be surprised. Lu Ruian with a 6th grade spiritual root. Only a lower grade yellow grade heart technique was rewarded. Whatever the reason, with these 2 techniques, plus his own transparent spiritual root, I will make rapid progress in the shortest possible time. I've carefully considered the cultivation method. The stone gate was opened. The loud sound of the door opening drew the attention of countless onlookers.
So, it was Zhang Bufan. It startled me.
I thought Lu Zheng had come out. It seems Zhang Bufan didn't have any spiritual roots again during this test. Alas, separated by just a wall. One is the peerless 9th rank. This gap is extraordinary. Ha ha ha, the Lu family is a magical place. For 10 years I have lived beneath another's fence. It can raise a useless one. It can also nurture a proud, true dragon. I frowned. I want to argue with him. But on closer thought, why bother? Quietly improving one's strength is the true way. I am now, without support. Let people know the underlying cause. Instead, it can easily cause big trouble. I smiled calmly. Zhang Bufan, you're here too. What's going on? Lu Ruian hurried over. He asked at a rapid pace. My expression was calm. Lu Zheng wrote down a note. A 9th grade spiritual root was detected. Lu Ruian's face instantly turned pale. He staggered several steps. This reality is hard to believe.
Impossible, impossible.
It really was a 9th rank official in trouble. And it was Lu Zheng, who was fostered at her own home. The strong-willed man couldn't withstand the blow. Tears fell. I sighed silently. He couldn't shake the feeling that Lu Zheng's spiritual root test results were a bit off. So he casually offered some comfort. Right, that you should cultivate with peace of mind. Waiting for the future. Lu Ruian glanced over. But I felt this was my sarcasm toward him. He looked frustrated. I cried and was happy. Huh? Thinking I rejected your marriage is getting your comeuppance. Huh? You think too much. Even if I'm not as good as Lu Zheng, I'm still a prodigy with a 6th grade spiritual root. Much better than a useless person like you, 100 or 1,000 times. I was speechless. If you're upset, why come to me to vent? It was truly like a dog biting Lu Dongbin. And do not recognize the hearts of good people. At that moment, noticing Lu Jingyan's arrival, the tower master hurried over. A very warm smile appeared on his face. Congratulations, brother Lu. Lu Jingyan was overwhelmed with favor. The detection tower master usually doesn't give anyone any cold shoulder. Only the city lord gave him a slight smile, suddenly so familiar, and even addressed him as brother Lu, making him feel light all over. It felt like stepping on cotton. Next, the strongest in Wuzhou City. City Lord Yi Jifeng also came over with a clasped fist. The Lu family head is truly delightful. The Lu residence produces a true dragon. Looking at Yi Jifeng's face that forced a smile, Lu Zhongyan felt even more like he was dreaming. Even a few reclusive old monsters. He also approached warmly to chat. It felt as if overnight, the Lu family went from obscurity to a declining clan. Suddenly grew up. The hottest #1 family in Lone Boat City. Lu Zhongyan was dazed for a long time. Only then did he gradually calm his mind. He understood that all of this was thanks to Lu Zheng. Wang Yingfeng walked over with a proud expression. At first, I forcefully opposed the opinions of the people. When he brought Zhen'er to the Lu family to cultivate her, What did you say? Upon hearing this, Lu Zhengyan looked utterly ashamed. At first he strongly opposed it. After all, the Lu family's resources are limited. It was given to an outsider. Their own people would be fewer. But Wang Yingfeng threatened him with his life. He reluctantly agreed. He never expected Lu Zheng to be so remarkable. I have eyes but no beads. Thanks to you, madam, this lucky star. That's why our Lu family is here. He clung to Zheng'e, a future peerless power. Not at all. That 8th rank prodigy from Bune City back then. I heard he went straight into the Tianji Pavilion. Later, he became the deputy master of the Tianji Pavilion. Our Zheng'e is a 9th rank prodigy. The Tianji Pavilion will soon be the one recruiting him. Our Lu family. Just wait for Zheng'e to lead her to rise to great heights. Soon after, everyone eagerly awaited it. The mid-lane contest finally opens the stone gate. He walked out confidently. He walked up to Lu Zhengyan, kneeling on one knee. Nephew thanks uncle for nurturing him over the years. I truly lived up to your expectations. Detected a 9th grade spiritual root. For a moment, everyone in the hall envied Lu Zhengyan. What incredible luck did it take to have such a favored child of heaven? Lu Zhengyan quickly helped him up. You can't do it, Zheng'e. You're a 9th rank prodigy. How could uncle deserve your kneeling? Get up quickly. Lu Zheng felt more exhilarating than ever before. In the past, he had always been cautious with his words and actions in front of Lu Zhengyan. Any mistake would get him scolded. Now he reveres himself like a god. Meanwhile, the Tower Master, the Lone Boat City Lord, and some elder family monsters, they all looked at him with eager eyes, prayed to build a good relationship with him. This has left him, who has long been at the bottom. Some have the spirit to leap up to the 9th heaven, an invincible sense of looking down on the world. Only Yu Guangzhong. He saw Jiang Bufan's shadow. Everyone submitted to the aura of his 9th grade spiritual root. Only he had his hands tucked inside his sleeves. He showed no sign of awe at all. This made him very annoyed. A useless mute. Why should he not submit to him? Jiang Bufan, you refused to accept it. All the strong figures in Guizhou City. He demanded with resolute force. I turned my head to look. With a blank expression, he casually wrote, you deserve it. In this life, I only respect my father. The rest were all unmatched. Ridiculous. A useless person with no spiritual roots. What right do you have to be so aloof before me? Uncle Lu, I have a favor to ask. Your worthy nephew, please speak. There is no need to perform such a grand ceremony. Lu Zheng glanced at Jiang Bufan. A smirk curled at the corner of his mouth. I grew up with Rushua and my sister. He couldn't bear to see her marry a useless man. Please, Uncle Lu, marry Rushua to me. Only I can give her happiness. Give her a future. Lu Zhengyan was in a difficult position. He had already betrothed Rushua to Jiang Bufan. Could it be that she changed her mind and asked Rushua to remarry? Isn't that breaking one's word? Uncle. If I shout that I want to get married, I believe many families present here. Everyone is willing to marry into me. By then, I'd be someone else's son-in-law. Lu Zhengyan's face changed dramatically. Lu Zhen is the Lu family's ultimate technique. If you lose him, Lu Zhengyan is the eternal villain of the Lu family. Compared to breaking promises and breaking promises, yet he was even more unbearable to bear the sinners of all time. At the moment when he was about to make a decision, I picked up my pen and wrote about Uncle Lu. Whether you give or not, you can be as happy as snow. It was all about strength, not the mouth. I am willing to compete with Lu Zheng. Lu Zhengyan glanced over. A sudden surge of joy filled his heart. If Jiang Bufan loses, exit voluntarily. Then, he wouldn't have to bear the reputation of breaking his word. Lu Zheng was able to marry Lu Rushua as he wished. The best of both worlds. He quickly looked at Lu Zheng. He smiled and said seriously, you see how? A useless person daring to challenge a 9th grade spiritual root. I laughed to death. Well, since they all grew up in the Lu residence, you're giving yourself a chance to compete with a 9th grade spiritual root. Even if you lose, you can also brag about it for a lifetime. Lu Zhengyan finally breathed a sigh of relief. I'll give you 3 days. Who breaks through a whole level? Whoever is qualified to marry Rushua, what does that matter? Is it a 3-day level? 3 days. What I broke through wasn't necessarily the same level with my mysterious spiritual root. Additionally, it is enhanced with the supreme advanced heart method. No difficulty at all. I immediately raised my brush and waved it. Okay. Lu Zheng smiled confidently. A level. Uncle, you underestimated my 9th grade spiritual root. We'll have to wait and see in 3 days. At that moment, an elderly man dressed in fine clothes cupped his hands, emerging from a group of big shots. Young Master Lu is Qin Chongsheng. Everyone present was moved upon hearing this. Qin Chongsheng, the head of the #1 alchemy family in Lone Boat City. Lu Zheng asked in confusion. The head of the Qin family had no idea what was going on. Qin Chongsheng held a brocade box. Inside, 10 small jade bottles are neatly arranged. The Qin family congratulated young Master Lu on discovering a 9th grade spiritual root. There is nothing else to give you. These 10 bottles of freshly refined artifact liquid were given to young Master Lu. He hoped young Master Lu would win the beauty in 3 days. Many people stared greedily at the 10 bottles of qi refining liquid. This bottle alone is worth countless things. The Qin family gave 10 bottles at once. They really went all out. There are 10 bottles of qi refining liquid. Even a pig drinking it can cause a qualitative change. Let alone Lu Zheng, who had a 9th grade spiritual root. They couldn't help but look at me with pity. This guy is destined to lose his wife. I narrowed my eyes slightly. The Qin family was clearly trying to support Lu Zheng. It seemed she sensed my gaze. Qin Chongsheng dismissed it and said something else. All the shops of my Qin family. Starting today, the sale of refining liquid to Jiang Bufan is prohibited. It's not just about the platform. It was blatant suppression. My eyes turned cold. With a wave of your pen, I hope you won't regret it. Qin Chongqing teased.
Ha ha ha.
I regret giving up on you, a useless piece of yours. She clung to young Master Lu's leg. The whole room burst into laughter. I gave Qin Chongqing a meaningful look, silently departing. The crowd gradually dispersed as the farce ended. On the way back, an elder of the family who followed Qin Chongqing. His face showed a hint of hesitation. Why was the family head so aggressive just now, suppressing a junior? As an alchemy family, the Qin family earns a considerable profit every year. Many people are envious. So the Qin family has always adhered to the principle of keeping a low profile. No one is offended. Qin Chongqing was even more well-versed in this principle. Always harmonious and wealthy.
Never gets involved in disputes.
But now, she was bullying Jiang Bufan like this. It was hard for him to understand. Qin Chongqing said expressionlessly. I still remember 10 years ago. That mysterious soul master who suddenly appeared? Naturally remember. The mid-grade refining liquid he had refined. It nearly destroyed our Qin family's century-old legacy. If he hadn't only made 10 bottles, they exchanged some money and materials. Let's stop here. The only fear is his mid-grade refining liquid. It can bring our Qin family's low-grade refining liquid market to the market. Possess them all. Qin Chongqing said meaningfully. Do you remember? When did Lu Jing come to our Guizhou city? 10 years ago. The head of the family. You mean? That's right, 10 years ago happened to be the day Lu Jing arrived. That mysterious soul master also appeared there. This is no coincidence. I think he is most likely Lu Jing. This guardian with a 9th grade spiritual root is the reason why. Know why I am. Did he interfere in Lu Zheng's match with that Jiang Bufan? The family had wanted to do Lu Zheng a favor, and thus gained the recognition of the soul masters behind him. If he can become our backing, our territory will go far beyond just a few surrounding cities. Qin Chongqing nodded slowly. I have been cautious and cautious all my life. Never made the wrong choice. This time the choice. I believe it won't be wrong. As for that guy named Jiang Bufan, if anyone is to blame him for not seeing the situation. It blocks the Qin family's path to the heavens. After all, he was just a nobody. If you offend someone, so be it. It cannot stir up great waves. As soon as I returned, I closed the door at the Lu residence. He clenched his fists tightly. Lu Zheng, I don't believe I'm any worse than you. I opened the Pure Breeze manual. Read carefully. I wonder if it was baptized by the ancient Taishu tree. Because of the body. This is a rather unfamiliar, yellow-level advanced technique. I understood it, and it all came naturally. An hour later, my eyes were filled with Huiguang. He began to cultivate cross-legged. Qi condenses the spirit through the dantian. All things have neither wind nor self. I silently recited the mantra. The transparent spiritual root within his body, like a massive root rooted in the void, slowly drawing in the spiritual energy from the air. The stronger the spiritual root, the faster the absorption. Soon, strands of spiritual energy invisible to the naked eye appeared, gathering from all directions, merging into my dantian, transforming into strands of pure spiritual power. I never get tired, cultivating with complete selflessness. Until dawn, I finally opened my eyes. With a hint of hope, I jumped out of bed, circulating the dantian. He raised his breath and swung his fists. A faint pop of compressed air, falling into my ear. Qi refining reaches the 2nd level. Overnight, Qi refining reaches the 2nd level. I was overjoyed. Lu Ruyan must have spent a full 3 days breaking through to the 1st level of Qi refining. But the 2nd level of Qi refining wasn't enough.
Protect yourself.
He had to be even stronger than Rushua. I tried to continue cultivating, but he found that the speed at which he absorbed spiritual energy had slowed considerably. The further you go to the Qi refining stage, the slower your cultivation becomes. It requires the help of Qi refining liquid. But the Qi refining liquid is very expensive. Besides, Qin Chongqing won't sell it to me. I frowned slightly. A spark flashed through his mind. Before the father passed away, he asked me to carry the box he had carried with him for 10 years, and buried it in front of the grave. He reminded me not to dig up the seeds before they sprouted. Since that's the case, father was able to leave me such a miraculous seed. Inside the mysterious box, it must also contain something extraordinary. I got up and opened the door. But then he heard Lu Rushua's pleading voice from the neighboring courtyard. Your Highness, this is a resource sent to me by the clan this month. Please don't take it away. Wang Yingfeng brought along 2 personal maids. He forced Lu Rushua to the corner. He reached into her arms and pulled out a bottle of Qi refining liquid. Don't think I don't know. You want to give it to Jiang Bufan, that useless guy. Haha, dreaming. Wang Yingfeng slammed the refining liquid hard onto the ground. Precious spiritual liquid immediately spilled all over the ground. Lu Rushua desperately struggled to break free from the 2 maids. He threw himself on the ground and grabbed the dirt soaked with spiritual liquid. But the spiritual liquid and soil were already inseparable. Completely useless. Your Highness. Xiaofan was already feeling sorry for him. Why are you bullying him like this? Even a bottle of Qi refining liquid was making things so difficult for him. Wang Yingfeng clapped her hands dismissively. Who bullied him? The refining liquid belongs to our Lu family. If he has backbone, he can take it himself. Relying on a woman secretly giving him something. Don't say our Lu family looks down on you. Even beggars by the roadside spat on us, so we walked. She twisted her waist. He left contentedly. Lu Rushua squatted helplessly on the ground. Hugging her knees and sobbing, she sobbed. I silently stepped forward. Place your hand on her back. Gently patting it. She turned her head in shock. Tears burst forth from the dam. Even more guilty, she collapsed into my arms and wept uncontrollably. Sorry, Xiaofan. I'm really useless. I should be a bit more careful. That way, Aunt Wang wouldn't have found out. I gently patted her thin back. My heart was full of softness. Fool, I can't even thank you in time. How could I blame you? Lu Rushua's eyes reddened, still feeling deeply guilty as before. But that is the only qi refining liquid you can give you. I looked at him. A wave of emotion struck his heart. What virtue or ability do I have to have such a fiancé? I gently stroked her hair. His tone became even gentler. There's something Wang Yingfeng says that I agree with. A man can only win with the help of women. It's not just outsiders who look down on her. I look down on myself. Don't worry, qi refining liquid. I'll figure it out myself. Go back and rest. Wait for my news. Lu Rushua was silent for a long time.
Nodded.
Just do your best. No matter the outcome. I wouldn't blame you, but I never expected it. As he left the backyard, he also left the Lu residence. He headed straight toward the perilous Yunwu Mountain. I also went to the graveyard in the suburbs at night. The father and child are unfilial.
I've come to see you.
I knelt before the grave, burned a lot of paper money. I'm getting married, but not Lu Ruyan. It's the Lu Rushua you prefer. You once said that she was actually more suitable to be my wife. His nature is gentle and serene, embodying the principle of tranquility. I laughed as I spoke. Tears began to fall. If you were still alive, you'll definitely be laughing from ear to ear. When we got married, I will definitely bring her to see you. I wiped away my tears. He said with a hint of apology. But the child ran into some trouble. You need to open the box you left behind, father. Sorry to disturb your peace. Please forgive me. He kowtowed repeatedly. I raised my hoe, dig up the soil in front of the grave. He dug a full 3 feet deep. Finally, he dug up a black wooden box. This father guarded the secret for 15 years. Finally, after the seed sprouted inside me, the moment of renewed daylight arrived. With his heart pounding violently, I flipped the switch. What was revealed inside the wooden box made my pupils contract. The first to be born by the attack. They were 2 jade bottles filled with emerald liquid. It was a mid-grade refining liquid. I was overjoyed. My father really did leave me cultivation resources. Beneath the jade bottle lay a letter and a bamboo slip. Open the letter. Familiar notes came into view. Xiaofan, when you see this letter, my father had been dead for 3 years, right? Has your seed sprouted? Did he marry Lu Ruyan? Are you healthy? What do you look like now? Father really wanted to know. Unfortunately, it was no longer visible. I hope you follow my lead. Only after being instructed did he open the wooden box. Because the seeds sprout, only the things in your wooden box are useful. 2 bottles of mid-grade refining liquid. It's meant for you to break through your current realm. But most importantly, the bamboo slip at the bottom. His father was of average talent. Reflect on a lifetime. He only grasped the basics. He barely became a 2-star soul master. I hope I can surpass being a father. Become a towering great soul master. This way, you have the means to protect yourself. In the end, this wooden box was left to you by your mother. He once said that after becoming a 5-star soul master, then the hidden layer of the wooden box could be opened. Failing to unlock the dark layer was my father's final regret. If one day you open it, remember to burn paper and tell your father what was inside. My son, your life will be full of twists and turns. Never give up, okay? Tear by drop, the mood was stirred. I clenched my fist tightly. With tears in her eyes, she growled at her father. I will definitely work hard. Survival is certain. After a long while, I calmed my mind, put away the letter. Her father was actually a distinguished soul master. The most mysterious profession in this world. I excitedly opened the bamboo slip. Inside were all unknown, twisted text. Just one glance, and you're dazzled. Tai Soul Technique Part 1. Soul Strong. Only then can one distinguish the characters. Fools observe the moon. Mild headaches can be severe. At worst, the soul is destroyed. Practice with caution. It turns out he was comprehending it with his soul. I endured the intense pain and watched a segment. He immediately sat cross-legged to digest. Only half a day. I opened my eyes in surprise. Without hesitation, I drank a bottle of mid-grade qi refining liquid. He stuffed the rest into his arms. Pure medicinal power surged violently into every limb and bone. I was frantically absorbing spiritual energy. Not long after, a dull rumble came from within his body. He broke through to the 3rd level of qi refining. The effect of medium-grade liquid is excellent. I fill and level the grave earth. Farewell to his father. He turned and descended the mountain. I didn't return to the Lu family immediately. It was a disguise and costume change. Put on the black iron mask. He quietly stepped into the 2nd alchemy family in Guizhou City. The Chun family shop. The Chun family lacked treasures to amplify their souls. The pills he refined were extremely crude. Business is bleak. The lazy shopkeeper glanced at me. What do guests want to buy? I reached out from beneath my wide black robe. He slapped the mid-grade refining liquid in his arms onto the counter. The shopkeeper glanced casually, but the next second, he felt as if struck by lightning. She bounced up from her chair. He leaned in for a closer look. Even his voice trembled. Could this be a mid-grade refining liquid? It's been 10 years. I actually saw another mid-grade refining liquid. Her gaze toward me instantly turned to fanaticism and awe. He shouted at the top of his lungs. Hurry up. What are you all stunned for? Quick, serve tea to this gentleman. The best tea. My heart stirred slightly. Could it have been made by my father 10 years ago? I interrupted him expressionlessly. Tea is unnecessary. I would like to exchange the following materials. How much can your store give? With that, I picked up my pen and wrote down 5 characters about the material for qi refining liquid. The shopkeeper's already high spirits instantly reached their peak. His whole body was bent almost at a 90-degree angle. His eyes were filled with shock and terror. Could you be a soul master? In the entire Guizhou city, only the Qin family would want materials. Unless you stand right in front of you, He was a soul master planning to refine pills himself. Beneath the mask, my gaze suddenly turned cold. You want to know? The shopkeeper was so terrified he nearly lost his soul. He hurriedly slapped his own mouth. Petty people gossip too much. Please forgive me, sir. If he offended a noble soul master, he had 10 heads and wasn't enough to chop them off. Enough nonsense. How much can it be exchanged for? The shopkeeper scrambled through the account book. According to market price, a bottle of mid-grade quality could sell for 10,000 taels of silver. Materials for the forging industry, 1,000 taels. One portion could have been exchanged for 10 portions. However, if you have more refining liquids to sell us, I can make the decisions. Here are 11 pieces of material for you. Only twice the price of a low-quality product. Think about his domineering attitude. I want Xiao Zi to nod. The shopkeeper was overjoyed. Sweating with sweat, he handed over 11 sets of materials. He spoke in a tone almost pleading. I will not hide it from you, sir. Tomorrow is the exhibition of the alchemist families in Guizhou City. If you have any extra refining liquid, can you sell it to us at the conference? Let my Chen family have a taste of it. I put away the materials. He casually tossed out 2 words. Try to confirm that no one is following you. I dropped my disguise and returned to the street. But after only a few steps, a piercing cold laugh pierced through the air. Oh, who is this? Lu Zheng rode his horse, beaming with joy. Standing beside him was Qin Chongsheng, the head of the Qin family. Lu Zheng. He glanced down at the treasure pavilion, not far away. He sneered. Head of the Qin family. Some people dream of buying low-grade refining liquid during the day. Besides my Qin family, there won't be refining liquid anywhere else. You are seeking the treasure pavilion for artifact refining liquid. I'm afraid you've come to the wrong place. Rather than seeking them, might as well ask young Master Lu for help. Ha ha ha. Please give me the refining liquid. You'd be better off begging me to let his fiancée go. Accompanied by wild laughter, the two spurred their horses and left. Qin Chongsheng's voice echoed from afar. Don't even think about refining liquid. I, Qin Chongsheng, am in a single day. You'll never get a drop of qi refining liquid in your lifetime. I watched their backs. Low-grade qi refining liquid? Not even a dog would want it. At this moment, inside the treasure pavilion, Miss Chen Xiling of the Qin family was listening to the manager's report. Did you send anyone to investigate his identity? How could this old servant dare? Soul Masters fear being coveted by others the most. Annoying him. Wouldn't that bring disaster upon the Qin family? Chen Xiling's expression softened. He nodded approvingly. Very good, you handled it very well. If he could provide mid-grade refining liquid at the exhibition,
We can make a name for ourselves.
they were competing head-to-head with the Qin family. And I, who had just stepped through the Lu residence's gates. But he sensed an extremely uneasy aura. The entire residence was brightly lit. People were sweating profusely and scattered in panic. Quick, find it for me. Digging 3 feet into the ground. He wanted to find Lu Rushua. My heart suddenly sank. In my mind. In an instant, it pieced together the stubborn expression she had when she left during the day. This silly big sister. Could it be that he ran off to Yunwu Mountain, where sheer cliffs rise 10,000 feet? Fan Xian went to gather spirit herbs for me, didn't he? I rushed out of Lone Boat City, like a madman, heading straight for Yunwu Mountain. Following the trail of the mountain path, they climbed all the way. Just as they were about to reach the summit, a few nauseating noises. Finally, it was carried by the wind into my ears. I quietly crouched down, peeking out. His eyes instantly shot with rage. At the edge of this bottomless cliff, 3 burly men with bats embroidered on their chests were spreading out with knives. And in the void of the cliff, Lu Rushua, her face ashen, was suspended in midair. A pair of palms, because they clung tightly to a thorny vine. It was already a bloody mess. Lady Lu, the great beauty, stopped struggling. Otherwise, it would be a shame if he fell into a minced pulp. Come up quickly. There is a debtor and a master. We just want to catch you. Xiang Lu Chuizhao just wants him to owe us gambling debts. We swear we won't do anything to you, the 3 beasts said as they spoke. But his greedy gaze was like a venomous snake, wandering along the graceful curves of Lu Rushua. Staggering and on the verge of collapse, Lu Rushua bit her lip, overflowing with a trace of resolute determination to die. Don't think about it. The leading thug finally lost patience. The cold blade flashed in his hand. Pull him up. The other 2 burly men immediately forcibly pulled the vine upward. Lu Rushua watched as she was gradually pulled up. My heart was filled with sorrow. Her red lips bit down.
Xiaofan, I'm sorry.
I won't be able to marry you in this lifetime. His grip loosened. He was about to jump into an abyss. At that moment, a series of hurried footsteps suddenly approached. Immediately after, a man pulling vines. Caught off guard, he was kicked down 10,000 sheer cliffs, falling into the mist amid a series of screams. The other 2 men were furious. Fight me with all your might. Soon, another person screamed and collapsed to the ground. The only one left was nervous and anxious. He ran while shouting, "How dare you kill someone from my blood-floating palace? You are dead." Lu Rushua was startled. A dark head poked out after landing. He was stunned. Xiao Fan couldn't believe it. It turned out I was the one who drove away the bad guys. With a stern face, I pulled him up. She gave him a hard smack on the butt. Who told you to come here? Lu Rushua lowered her head in guilt at the shout, silently raising his blood-stained hand. He still gripped a herb full of spiritual energy tightly in his palm. He timidly said, "I just want to help you." Watching him get scraped, and his skin scraped, yet still refuses to let go of the herbal hand. My heart ached. She pulled him tightly into her arms. "You are the most important person to me now. If even you leave me, there is no one in this world I care about anymore. Listen to my reproach." Lu Rushua felt as if she had tasted honey before. Leaning against this broad chest, relaxed in body and mind, she carried deep fatigue. And so I fell asleep. I couldn't bear to wake her. He leaned her against a nearby rock. Then he walked over to the corpse in the blood-floating palace.
He explored it for a while.
He quickly found a token. He couldn't help but whisper with delight. Blood floats in the palace token. The city lord's mansion once issued a reward notice. One person from the blood-killing floating palace can enter the spirit pool of the city lord's mansion to cultivate. Once I put away the token, taking advantage of the night, found a safe cave. Settle him well. During the night watch, I took out materials I had exchanged from the treasure pavilion. Try making medicine on the spot. One day, dawn broke. I looked at the pile of ashes on the ground with heartache. Wasted 3 portions of materials. However, my gaze turned to the 8 bottles of qi refining liquid lying on the ground. 7 bottles of premium qi refining liquid. A bottle of top-grade qi refining liquid. It seems I am more talented than my father. He could already refine high-grade qi refining liquid. And when in excellent condition, and it can even be refined into top-quality ones. Wait until I'm skilled. The success rate of top-grade refining liquid is even higher. I couldn't wait to pick up the supreme refining liquid and drink it. Incredibly powerful. The medicinal power emitted spiritual energy 10 times that of the lower grade. My body was swollen like a balloon. I quickly sat cross-legged to digest. An hour later, I let out a light breath of stale air. Secretly surprised. Qi refining 4th level. And he was not far from the 5th level of qi refining. Lu Rian drank low-grade qi refining liquid every day. It took a full 10 days just to break through this level. And I only need 1 bottle. He felt the power of qi refining 4th level. I looked at the sleeping Lu Rushua. He smiled slightly. At this moment, the atmosphere at the Lu residence was extremely strange. Lu Zhang was drenched in sweat. He stared blankly at the 10 empty bottles placed in front of him. Why is that? I've finished it all. Why haven't you broken through yet? Wang Yingfeng was also completely baffled. 9th grade spiritual roots plus 10 bottles of low-grade refining liquid. Even a pig should break through. He had no choice but to grit his teeth and comfort him. If one is born wanting haste, one will not succeed. Maybe a rush to break through affects your mindset. Anyway, you didn't lose. Jiang Bufan was that useless fool. One has lost its spiritual root. Second, no qi refining liquid. Even less likely to break through. You only managed to draw. Hearing this, Lu Zhen let out a slight sigh of relief and said disdainfully. He's even worthy of being compared to me. I haven't broken through, it's only temporary. But he would never be able to break through in his lifetime. They walked to the main hall to judge who was superior. Lu Rushua and I returned in the morning light. Lu Rushua gazed at the Lu family gate, but hesitated to step forward, because this was a match destined to lose. The result was that she was going to marry Lu Zheng. She bit her lip. He said heavily, "It's okay if you lose. Don't blame yourself. I won't blame you. You know, I held her hand tightly. I said, I would protect you. This is true now and in the future. Speaking of me, I led her through the door. For 10 years I have lived beneath another's fence. One morning, soaring among the blue clouds, I am more than ever, all long to face the gaze of the Lu family. I want to prove I'm not useless. I am worthy of Lu Rushua." Lu Zhengyan hurriedly led his men out. He immediately cursed Lu Rushua. "Where did you die? Are you trying to scare us to death?" It was my father who was worried about my safety. Still worried that Lu Zheng's wish wouldn't be fulfilled, causing the family to lose a powerful backing. If it's the former, father really didn't need to worry. Whether the Lu family has me or not, it's the same. Having a sister is enough. Lu Zhengyan couldn't help but be speechless. She caught sight of me still holding his hand. He frowned and said to Jiang Bufan, "How have you been cultivating lately?" I calmly wrote 2 words, which was fine. This surprised Lu Zhengyan. He then led us into the lobby. Dozens of Lu family members gathered in the hall. The female clan members, dressed in their dazzling style, surrounded Lu Zhang and chatted. Lu Rian also smiled. He caught sight of me entering the door. He said indifferently, "I thought you wouldn't dare come." At least he still had some masculinity. The clan members immediately began whispering mockery. In 10 years, we've heard too many snide remarks. I've long since become numb. I walked into the hall. His posture was upright and upright. He took up his pen and wrote when it would begin. This transformative confidence within me. This made everyone's expressions change slightly.